I was on my way to have dinner with my daughter when my lawyer's name flashed on the screen. His voice was urgent. "Pull over. We need to talk now." My heart started to pound. What could be so important? I found a safe spot on the side of the road, my mind racing through a dozen worst-case scenarios. None of them came close to what he was about to tell me. He said my daughter, my only child, had been forging my signature for months. She had sold off properties and emptied accounts I had spent my entire life building, all behind my back. The words hit me like a physical blow. It felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. But he wasn't finished. The final piece of his news was the most devastating. She had filed a request with the court, a fake guardianship claim, arguing that I was no longer capable of managing my own affairs. She was trying to have me declared incompetent so she could gain full control of everything I owned. The plan was to put me in a home and take it all. I sat there in stunned silence, the phone still pressed to my ear, listening to the hum of traffic passing by. The world outside my car window seemed to blur. My own daughter, the little girl I had raised, cherished, and loved more than life itself, was plotting to strip me of my dignity and my future. The pain was sharp, a deep, cold ache in my chest. I had always been a good father, providing her with everything she ever needed and most of what she wanted. We were supposed to have dinner tonight. Was she going to play the part of the loving daughter one last time before her plan fell into place? The thought made me sick. My lawyer continued, explaining the evidence he had gathered: bank records, forged documents, and a copy of the guardianship filing. It was all there, undeniable proof of her betrayal. My first instinct was pure, raw anger. I wanted to scream, to drive to the restaurant and confront her, to demand an explanation. But then a cold, chilling calm washed over me. No, a public confrontation was what she might expect. It would be messy, emotional, and ultimately, it wouldn't undo what she had done. I took a deep breath, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. My lawyer asked what I wanted to do, and in that moment, I knew. She had made her choice, now I had to make mine. The dinner reservation was for 7 o'clock. She would be waiting. If you enjoy emotional and dramatic revenge stories, please subscribe for more. I told my lawyer exactly what to do. I instructed him to forward all the evidence he had compiled directly to the district attorney's office. Every forged signature, every illegal transaction, every single page of her fraudulent guardianship claim. I told him to emphasize the urgency of the matter. This wasn't just a family dispute. It was a series of calculated criminal acts. As I hung up the phone, I looked at the GPS. The route to the fancy restaurant she had picked was still lit up on the screen. With a steady hand, I canceled it. Then I entered a new destination, the city's main police headquarters. The drive felt surreal. My mind was a whirlwind of memories, flashing back to her first steps, her first day of school, her graduation. Had this been a part of her all along? Was this cold, calculating person hiding behind my daughter's smile for years? Or had something changed her so completely? I tried to pinpoint a moment, a sign I might have missed, but there was nothing. Our relationship had always been, or so I thought, built on love and trust. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife. It wasn't just about the money or the properties. She was trying to erase me, to paint me as a frail, senile old man who couldn't be trusted with his own life. The humiliation was as painful as the theft. When I arrived at the police station, I was met by 2 detectives. My lawyer had already briefed them. They were professional and respectful, but I could see the disbelief in their eyes as they reviewed the file. A daughter doing this to her own father. They asked me questions, and I answered them calmly and factually, my voice devoid of the emotion that was churning inside me. I signed a formal complaint, the pen feeling heavy in my hand. With each stroke, it felt like I was severing the last tie to the daughter I thought I knew. The detectives assured me they would handle it. They explained the process, how they would secure a warrant and proceed with an arrest. I asked them for one thing. "Can we do it tonight?" I asked. "She's waiting for me at a restaurant." "But I'm not going. I'm going home." The lead detective looked at me, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. He nodded. "We'll meet you there." I drove home, the streets dark and quiet. My house, usually a place of comfort, felt cold and empty. I walked inside and sat in my favorite armchair, the one where I used to read her bedtime stories, and I waited. The clock on the mantelpiece ticked loudly, each second stretching into an eternity. Around 8 o'clock, my phone buzzed. It was a text from her. Dad? Where are you? Are you okay? I'm worried. The hypocrisy was staggering. I didn't reply. Another text came a few minutes later. I'm coming over to the house to check on you. I knew this was it. The final act was about to begin. I just sat there in the dark waiting for the sound of her key in the lock. A few minutes later, the front door opened. Dad? She called out, her voice filled with fake concern. Are you here? I was so worried when you didn't show up. She switched on the hall light and her shadow fell across the living room floor. She walked in, a bright, practiced smile on her face. There you are. Sitting in the dark. You gave me such a scare. She came towards me, ready to play her part, ready to check on the father she was trying to destroy. But as she got closer, she must have seen the look on my face. Her smile faltered. Dad? What's wrong? She asked, her voice losing its cheerful tone. And in that exact moment, the two detectives stepped out from the shadows of the adjoining hallway where they had been waiting. Their presence filled the room. My daughter froze, her eyes darting from me to the officers, confusion turning to dawning horror. One of the detectives spoke, his voice calm but firm. Ma'am, are you Amelia Parks? She just nodded, unable to speak. You're under arrest for fraud, forgery, and attempted larceny. Her face crumpled. The mask of the loving daughter dissolved completely, revealing the cold, terrified stranger underneath. What? No! No! There's been a mistake. Dad, tell them. She pleaded, turning to me, her eyes wide with panic. I just looked at her, my expression unmoving. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. My silence was the answer. The sound of the handcuffs clicking shut was the loudest sound I had ever heard. Her world collapsed in that instant. The tears started streaming down her face, but they weren't tears of remorse. They were tears of someone who had been caught. As they led her away, she kept screaming my name, begging me to do something to fix this. But the man she was crying out to, the loving father she had taken for granted, was gone. She had destroyed him herself. I watched from the doorway as they put her in the back of the police car. The flashing blue and red lights painted the street, a stark and silent witness to the end of a family. I closed the door, and for the first time that night, I let myself feel everything. The grief, the anger, the profound, bottomless sorrow for the daughter I had lost long before she was ever put in handcuffs. She gambled on my love, and she lost everything. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Reddit-style revenge stories.